Hello fellow hobbyists, I'm Jason and I'm going to show you how to paint orc boys right here on Level Up Hobbies. Let's get painting.
So today we're going to be painting up a Bad Moon boy. And to start off, what I did is after gluing the model to the base, I used some AK Interactive rough terrain and just smeared it all over the base there to give me some texture to work with. And then I primed the model black. You can use whatever black primer you prefer. This was I don't remember which kind I used here. I believe it was Vallejo, just black primer. And afterwards, I got some Citadel's Gray Sear, and I based the figure with Gray Sear. I left some dark spots, stuff that's going to be silver. I tried to leave that as dark as possible. And just most of the cloth I covered with the Gray Sear. And this is going to prepare the model for lighter coats that I'm going to be adding afterwards. And now I jump right into painting the base. I'm doing this now so I don't risk getting any paint on the model later. And for this you can use any color scheme that you're wanting for your army. I'm using a medium brown because it'll take some good washes and dry brushing later. Next we're going to move into that iconic orc skin. We're going to go for the green. So for this I'm using some Elysian green from Citadel, and this is a nice kind of a golden green gold, and has very nice coverage over this Gray Sear, and that's why I went with a light color. If you try a darker color with this, it's going to take a lot of coats to cover, and we want this to be quick, and we want this to be easy so you can pump out, boys. So here we go with the Elysian green. I love this color for the orcs. Takes a wash really well, highlights up really good. So it is one of my favorite colors to use for orc skin tone. Now, following the skin, we're going to move on to some of the clothing that he's wearing. I'm using a Baneblade brown to paint in his shirt. I'm using this brown to break up the next colors I'm going to be painting on here, because Bad Moons are really known for their yellow and black. And I don't want too much black on here, so I'm going to break it up, and change the shirt color. Baneblade brown, this is going to take about two coats to sufficiently cover the Gray Sear here. And now we're moving on to the color that makes a Bad Moon a Bad Moon. We're getting that yellow laid down. So for that, we're going to start off with a base of Averland Sunset. I like this for the base of my yellows. It covers, and then when you build up those lighter colors, they layer up over this very, very well. So thin this out and start painting it on. It'll take two coats to get a very good coverage. And now we're going to break out some black. You can use any black that you want. Here I use some Vallejo Game Color Black. And I'm painting in the boots, the pants, and his belts with this. Also some of the little dagger icons on his shoulder pauldron. And this kind of completes the Bad Moon color scheme, that yellow, that black. So you get these together on your Orc Boys and they're going to stand out and everybody's going to know that they're Bad Moon. Now we're going to go in and we're going to brighten up that yellow. And for that, I'm going to take Flash Gets Yellow, I'm going to thin it out, and pretty much just glaze it over the top of this Aberlin Sunset. Now, depending on how bright, how yellow you want this, it may take 1, 2, 3 coats. The thicker you leave it, the less coats it'll take, the faster you can paint your models. Just watch out for brush strokes. And finally we get to painting up all of the metal bits here. I'm using Leadbelcher and I'm sticking with just silver. I'm not painting any gold or anything on here, just to limit the amount of colors that I have to work with and apply throughout the army.
Hey guys, if you're liking the video and you want to help out the channel some, give me a like down below. You can subscribe, you can share my content, and leave some comments. All of those go a long way to helping out the channel. All right, let's get back to painting.
And to finish off basing the details, I get Genestealer Purple for the tongue, and then some Wraithbone for the teeth. Now we're going to start adding some depth to this miniature. And to start off, I'm going to take some Nazdrag yellow contrast paint, thin it down a bit, and just kind of glaze it over all of the yellow. Then I'm going to clean off my brush and soak up a little bit of the excess. And this will leave a nice shade in the recesses. And now for the skin, I'm going to use some Athonian Camo Shade. I paint this over the skin liberally and then just kind of, subtract it, using a wet brush, or a cleaned off brush where it's needed. So I don't want it to pool up, but I do want it to build up that depth in the recesses. And now I grab the Agrax Earthshade and I use this over the rest of the model. Don't worry about getting it on the green, it'll kind of blend in with that Athonian camo shade since it's still wet, and it makes some really nice shadows. Now I grab a couple different shades and I just add a little bit of variation to the dirt texture. I do this while the Agrax is still wet, so it all blends in together. And I start highlighting the yellow with a little bit of Dorn yellow, and I just pick out little nicks and dings along the edges and across the surface that I want to be highlighted. And I start highlighting up the skin using Nurgling green. And for this, I'm focusing on the face and the hands that you can see holding the gun, and then maybe like some of the upper arm. I don't want to highlight all of it. I just really want to focus on the areas that I'm drawing attention to. And I finished the model off with a coat of black around the rim of the base. And recently I heard this called taking the victory lap, and I love that because it really is a great feeling when you finish a model. So here we are taking our victory lap. And here we have the completed model. Using this method, I painted this guy fairly quickly. I didn't have my timer going, but it didn't take long at all. And you could easily use this for a mob of boys. Just use your assembly line, go through, do the base colors of each thing, and you just work up from there. And as I said, I didn't highlight all of the model. I stuck with the skin and then the yellow. I was just really trying to draw attention to those two aspects of the model. And I think it pays off because in the long run, when you have one boy in a mob of 30, it really doesn't matter if you have them all highlighted up to to the max, because you're not going to see all of that. It's just going to be a mob of green skin. So don't worry about highlighting up the whole model. Just pick out a couple features that you want to stand out. All right. Well, that's it for this model. Painted up this Bad Moon Boy for you. Stay tuned for the other clans. I'm going to be working on those too. So thanks for joining me here on Level Up Hobbies. All right, later guys.
Hey guys, thanks for joining me here today on Level Up Hobbies as I painted up this Orc Boy. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe down below, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you can be notified whenever I publish new videos. Thanks again, and remember, build, paint, and play tabletop games. Later.